You guys know what time it is. The chapter's out. Let's talk about it. And of course, we start off with these beautiful color pages of the first one being Chihiro and Hiruhiko, of course, representing the fight that they're going through, along with the two enchanted blade users, Uruha and Samura. And in the middle, of course, it shows Chihiro and Hiruhiko once again as they're clashing. I really like the coloring that Hokusano does for his art. I don't really know how to describe it. I guess it kinda looks like an oil painting. I don't think that's what he's going for. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know my art like that. But it does look really, really good. And, just something really good to start the chapter off with. And speaking of the chapter itself, we once again see a flashback of Samura and Chihiro when Chihiro was trying to learn how to use his blade. It looks like Chihiro really learned well from Samura because he struck down the bamboos that he was training with, like with ease. Like, Samura's like, yeah, and after just watching me once, he did it. And Shiba comments saying that, yeah, Chihiro's got Okuhira's eyes. He'd learned swordsmanship from you real quick. But then Samura's like, nah, he's too young. And Chihiro's like, the swordsmanship of a hero. And then Samura just pokes his eyes. Okay? And Shiba's like, what'd you do that for? And Samura's like, I sense he was gazing at me in admiration. Just checking. Okay, Samura. I guess he can't take admiration too well. So he's like, poke. But yeah, Samura's like, swinging a sword in real battle isn't that great. You're cutting people, not straw. And yeah, like in the war, he did kill people. And he's really making Chihiro know that what he did wasn't, all fun and games. He was at a war. He knows the terrors of having to take someone down. So I don't think he'd rather teach anybody any swordsmanship. And of course, that also relates to him not wanting to see anymore. So I don't think he ever wants, or rather wanted, Chihiro to go down this path. Oh man, little did he know. Now back in the present, Hiruhiko just continues to taunt Chihiro, talking about how they're so much alike, and I'm like the only one that can understand you. Let's be friends. And Chihiro is just, still upset with him. He's like, what are you talking about? Do you want me to kill you or not? And Hiruhiko's like, I want to kill you, but I want to be friends. Hey, let's be friends by trying to kill each other. I've never had a friend before, so I don't know. But I think that's right. And Chihiro, he's like, that doesn't make any sense. Screw it, I'm just gonna kill you. And he just goes towards him and tries to slash him. But of course, he uses his papers to avoid any damage. But also at the same time, he's using it to actually attack Chihiro. Like, they go around, I think, attacking his own subordinates. And everyone else around the audience. Yeah, it says here that Chihiro's like, the audience members. And yeah, they're just going all over the place, just hurting them. And Chihiro's trying to figure out what to do, because the papers are actually detecting where he's moving. So, Hiruhiko actually kind of has the advantage here. And to make matters worse, he brings up the fact that if he uses Kudo, he could clear the papers, but it'll hurt people, the audience members that are surrounded by the paper. He could also use Nishiki to move about quickly, but the cranes chasing him will also hurt people. So, Hiruhiko basically says he's in a lose-lose situation. That's when Hiruhiko also brings up a part in the stage play, where he's like, there's a scene where the enemy takes hostages. The hero, Sasuke, is paralyzed, and the enemy gets away. But Sasuke's garbage. Damn. And you can't worry about a hostage or two. In real life, you'd be dead. You're a killer, but at the moment of truth, you want to play the hero. As if you weren't just a monster. Chihiro Rokuhira, I want this to resonate with you. You're one of us. Who will you sacrifice? And as Chihiro just stands there trying to think about what to do, Hiruhiko compares him to Sasuke in the play. And that's when Chihiro gets basically cut by all the papers surrounding him, and he's heavily wounded. Then we go back to the flashback once again, with Samura saying, the first time I cut someone, I couldn't stand to see the severed flesh. That's the other reason I blinded myself. But that image is burned into my eyes. It never goes away. I could feel myself becoming a monster. And Chihiro's like, but even so, you chose to wield an enchanted blade to save everyone, right? And Samura's like, yes, I just had to keep flailing through the darkness. Chihiro's like, then what? But Samura brings up, but that's not something to aspire to. I'm going to hell. That's when Chihiro says, rather than admiring you, I'll respect you. And Samura's like, that's great, you're welcome to do that. You're not trying to become a swordsman anyway, right? And he's like, right. And then flash forward to the present day, and we get this sick panel of Chihiro just looking well, looking like he's basically accepted what he is. Meanwhile, Hiruhiko is caught off guard. He's like, with the fortification of Nishiki, can he increase his body's resistance? But even so, he'll just, continue to throw all that paper at him. And Chihiro starts thinking about his father and Samura, and what they all said was one thing in common. And Chihiro, like I said, he accepted what he is. He's like, sorry, but I'm going down the same path too. Kuro. He uses it, and we get this sick double spread, which basically just shows the entire place just covered in darkness. And you're only able to see fractions of, like, people being cut in the background. And of course, you're only barely able to see Hiruhiko with Chihiro staring at him from behind. And, like, this is very, very well done. And I would like to imagine that Hokuzono probably used a black sheet first, and then drew everything in using, like, probably white outlines and whatnot. Like, I can't really describe it. Like, the opposite of what it's done normally. Like, normally you draw through, like, a white canvas, but here it's, like, done through a black canvas, and you probably used white coloring to draw the images here. Though that's just speculation. I can't tell if that's what he actually did, but it certainly feels that way, and it looks amazing. And I actually can't wait to get my hands on the volume, because seeing this in person is going to be really awesome. And the chapter basically ends with Chihiro having Hiruhiko down, putting his foot near his face, and Hiruhiko's just, like, super confused. He's like, what happened? I don't understand. And that's when Chihiro's like, the first time I killed a person, I accepted that I'm a monster. The least I can do is refrain from causing harm to others, and take you Hishaku bastards to hell with me. Now, talk. And cinema. Just, what a good way to end this chapter. Like, goddamn. I really like the parallels that the chapter was trying to show between Chihiro and his father and Samura, and really the enchanted blade users in general, but in this specific instance, his father and Samura. Of course, both of them, they feel like monsters themselves. Like, there's no redeeming everything they've done to the war. They've accepted the fact that when they die, they're going to hell. And clearly they try to steer Chihiro away from this path. But once Rokuhiro, managed to be killed by the Hishaku, that basically changed Chihiro's fate. And the minute he went out there and killed a single member of the Hishaku, he accepted the fact that, yeah, I'm also going down to hell too. And if I'm going to go down this path, I'm going to make sure that no one else gets harmed. Just you bastards here in the Hishaku. And you're going to die in the most gruesome way possible. Believe that. So, yeah, this was a really good chapter. I liked it a lot. Normally, these chapters end in a way where, like, I can't wait to see what happens next. But I definitely had my fill with this chapter. Of course, as always, I'm looking forward to when the next one releases. But here, I'm definitely satisfied. And I really like what they're doing with Chihiro's character. Like, they're diving deep into his psychology. And that's really cool. We, of course, as the audience, have seen everything that he's gone through. So, to really have him understand who he is and what he's become, it's really a big moment for him. But, yeah, like I said, it's a really good chapter. And if you guys have anything to say about it, in general, or anything that I may have missed, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll try to respond to everyone. So, yeah. I'm really happy with this chapter. I think all of it was fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens next. I don't think this is the end of the fight. I would like to imagine Hiruhiko probably has something else up his sleeve, because I doubt he'll tell Chihiro anything about the Hishaku. So, it's really difficult to tell how this will continue. But I do look forward to seeing how Hokuzono continues this. So, yeah, like I said, those are my thoughts on the chapter. Really good stuff overall. We're really getting into, like, the really good parts of this arc. I feel it. So, it'll be interesting to see what Hiruhiko does next. So, we'll have to continue to wait until then. But yeah, that's everything I have to say. Can't wait for the next one. So now I'll be heading out. So peace out and take care, everyone.